Thank you, Larry. We are on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Tonight, we start Week 9 with a prime-time matchup between...
Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Larry. With the distinctive pirate ship in the north end zone, we can only be in one place, and that's Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Tonight, we start Week 9 with a prime-time matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Carry now for Paul Perkins. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. On the tackle that time, Tyson Jackson. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. Off the play fake, Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The target that time was Vincent Jackson. And now it's third down. On third down, Winston surveying the field. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now they go screen. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Offense still needing 10 yards, 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them. Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, Quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a second. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. Determination. Whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now the rookie, Roberto Aguayo, for the Bucs field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Now flags come in before the kick. Clearly there was contact. Who was at fault?
Encroachment, defense. Automatic first down.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll let the shorter back Perkins run it. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Paul Perkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts the defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Ryan on first down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On second down, here's Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. 2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the 2nd down incompletion. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. And that's caught by Tammy. Past the 20. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. A big play on 3rd down for the Falcons. 45 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Ryan keeps it on the sneak. They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Hey, give him credit. That's a good, solid game there in the sneak. Because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward.
All right, so the call stands. Tough now. They're out of challenges. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Matt Ryan ties LT with his 31st touchdown of the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays. Don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Second down, Winston. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And it'll bring up 3rd down. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Now the Packers' first-year punter Jake Shum is on. Back deep for Atlanta, Devin Hester. On the return, Hester. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Buccaneers now. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky, preach. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Third and long. It's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Crowder now to return. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement.
Another carry for the rookie Perkins. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation...
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Paul Warlow able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take sack.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, it's time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. 7 yards remain now on 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here we go on 4th down with Ryan. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence. Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Patrick DeMarco, the fullback, the one he was looking for. And it's third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. Now a second down throw for Winston. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. That one good for the completion. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. On 3rd down, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You drop an 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll get it.
And Freeman lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
They'll try and throw for it here. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Credit the tackle to the rookie first-rounder, Keanu Neal.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Now the rookie, Roberto Aguayo, for the Bucs field goal try. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a fourth-quarter do-or-die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go-around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Conte. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
Following the interception, Winston. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after that. He fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Courtney Upshaw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. His throw incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working.
After reviewing the play, the running
Now Matt Bryant, who spent 4 seasons in a Buccaneer uniform. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. His pass caught at the 4. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it, or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
I think the effort was there, but sometimes the defense is just a little bit better. No gain on the quarterback sneak. No place to go.
From the 3-yard line again, they'll try and punch it in here on 3rd and goal. This time Ryan will throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Donald Butler in there to drop it for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Now Matt Bryant, who spent 4 seasons in a Buccaneer uniform.
Now we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. They had the interception last time, led to a field goal.
And kept points off the board against them as well. What a great way to end a drive. Take it away and set your offense up to put points on the board themselves.
The only thing would have been better, a touchdown. Now they'll be looking to get the stop and lead to that here on the next drive.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. When you see passes knocked down by those guys, I call it the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They'll try to pick it up with Perkins. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
On 1st down, back to Perkins. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
A dump off to the flat for Perkins. It'll be a gain of 6, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's the option going right. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here's Jacob Shum now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Ryan. Oh, when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Brent Grimes. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things, and they've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And here now come the Falcons. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Now Ryan. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. A big play that time on a catch and run. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers. matters because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they show to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Here's Ryan. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, it doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
Again, Ryan. It's caught. Weems. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And now they're in the hurry-up. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. To throw again is Ryan. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Conte. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
The drive starts with a run by Perkins. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's run,